Dillian the Body Snatcher White here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Okay, so the Ring Magazine have finally updated their rankings, and of course I'm talking about the heavyweight division. Or I say they finally updated it, maybe they updated it a while ago, but it's Box Live, the website that I and many of you use. Maybe they're the ones that's actually been behind, but they have been updating other sanctioned bodies, so I'm led to believe that the Ring Magazine, after about 2 months of not doing too much with their rankings, has finally done it. Anyway, the top 10 of the Ring Magazine heavyweight rankings. Of course, Tyson Fury is the Ring Magazine heavyweight champion. Number 1, Anthony Joshua. Number 2, Deontay Wilder. Number 3, Dillian White. Number 4, Joseph Parker. Number 5, Andy Ruiz Jr. Number 6, Luis Ortiz. Number 7, Michael Hunter. Number 8, Oscar Rivas. Number 9, Alexander Usyk. Number 10, Joe Joyce. There you have it. Now, will it change after this weekend? We'll see Joe Joyce. He's going to be fighting Carlos Takam. Very unlikely, right? Now, firstly, a couple of criticisms that I will have. And I know the Ring Magazine, they're always open for a bit of critique. They've been quite receptive of it in the past. And we've had like a bit of a back and forwards with it. But for me, the critique that I've really got, I suppose, I mean, I'm not happy about Luis Ortiz being ranked that high. He ain't beat nobody. I don't know how many times I've got to say it. But I understand their reasoning. Their reasoning is, although he lost and got knocked out twice by Deontay Wilder, he put in a great performance. So their rankings is based on performance as well as the victory. Okay? So I understand what it is that they're talking about. But Ortiz, step up, man. Please take a step up. Now, number 7, Michael Hunter, and number 8, Oscar Rivas. I don't have a problem with them being in the top 10. Well, with Oscar Rivas, I do a little bit. But with Michael Hunter, I mean, he's got some good wins, of course, with Kuzmin, Bakoli, and a few others. But to put him and Oscar Rivas ahead of Alexander Usyk and Joe Joyce is a little bit of an issue for me. Let's speak about the obvious one. Michael Hunter has already been beaten by Alexander Usyk, when, of course, they were both at cruiserweight. But still, Usyk has got a victory over Michael Hunter, so you would have to say Alexander Usyk, former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, is better than Michael Hunter. You'd have to say that, right? Yes, of course, Michael Hunter, he put in a great performance against Usyk. Well, I say great, a decent performance. Joe Joyce, of course, he's got a great win over Daniel Dubois. Who is Oscar Rivas' great win? Bryant Jennings is his best win. Again, a guy who Joe Joyce has also beaten. Okay, Joe Joyce beat him on points. Was it a contentious, dubious decision that he got the victory over Bryant Jennings? Arguably, but of course Oscar Rivas, who was losing that fight, by the way, up until the final round, scored a knockout victory over Bryant Jennings. So for me, I think that Usyk and Joyce should be above Michael Hunter and Oscar Rivas. And yes, I will say that they should definitely be above Luis Ortiz. But either way, they are the rankings. What can you do? Of course, Alexander Usyk, he's going to be fighting Anthony Joshua for the unified world heavyweight titles. Joe Joyce is going to be fighting Carlos Takam this weekend. Of course, Joe Joyce has already been installed as the mandatory, even though he hasn't actually fought a final eliminator. Frank Warren and the WBO, what can you do? Oscar Rivas, number 8. Again, he's ranked in at number 1 in the WBC Bridgerweight division. So that's something to think about as well. Michael Hunter turned down a Filip Herkovich fight, so he can go fight that Mike, whatever his name is. Again, another cruiserweight on the Triller app. Luis Ortiz, don't talk about him. Andy Ruiz Jr., again, I think Andy Ruiz Jr., is he as good? Maybe he just got a good night at the office against Anthony Joshua. Maybe. But again, we have to wait and see. Is he going to fight Luis Ortiz? For me, that would justify this kind of position if he fights Luis Ortiz and beats Luis Ortiz. Joseph Parker, number 4. I mean, for me, I rate Joseph Parker more than I think most people do. I really do. But anyway, number 3, Dillian White. Yeah, of course, WBC interim world heavyweight champion. Number 2, the excuse maker, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. And of course, number 1, Anthony Joshua. So, of course, the Ring Magazine belt will be on the line for Fury and Wilder for their 3rd fight. Yeah, they're going to keep on passing that thing backwards and forwards like a hot potato. So there you go. The top 10 Ring Magazine heavyweight world rankings. Good? Indifferent? Well, drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.